Welcome back to Area DMG. I'm your host, Hope Wesley, the Mile High Mouth, and for today's episode of Suki Nihon for Area DMG, we are looking at Corpse Party Tortured Souls, Episode 2. This is called Broken Hinges. This episode starts with the pretty brutal murders and more explanation about the curse of Heavenly Host Elementary. And then we find Mokita and Yuka in a classroom where they find a newspaper clipping that says more about Yuka about the crimes. And then they run to Morishige, looking for restroom for Yuka and stuff. Okay, pretty much this episode has a lot of pretty gross, quote gross end quote visuals in it. A lot of terrible stuff went down at Heavenly Host Elementary. You see, there's a bit of a interesting thing here. There's some ghost children who murder people inside Heavenly Host Academy. They murder people in horrific ways, and when you die in Heavenly Host, you don't go to heaven, you don't go to hell. You get to relive the pain of your death over and over and over again until all eternity, for all eternity. Ugh, that's horrible. Anyways, we're also given a bit of an update on other characters like Kishinuma and Shinozaki, who run into the ghost of Naho. Naho tells them that they could appease the ghosts and escape the closed space that is Heavenly Host Academy. But what they do, they have to appease the ghosts. They have to get let's see. For a brief bit, we're also shown Suzumoto and Miss Yui, and the teacher. She accidentally angers the spirits, and Suzumoto gets killed horribly. Her entire story arc just hits a wall. Yeah, it's this show continues to be squeamish and gross, and I love it for that. This is not afraid to be squeamish and gross. And I have to admit that I kind of like that about this, yes. It's a perfect horror show. And a good way to get you up to speed, or rather, a good way to get you interested in the game coming out for the 3DS. In fact, that's coming out, by the time you see these, it should be out the next day. We'll be doing an unboxing, and I can't wait to try it out. It's going to be... it's going to be a smashing game. Yes. Oh, you know Morishige, the person that Yuka, the little girl, and Mokita ran into? He's not exactly innocent. In fact, he's kind of obsessed with the corpses. But that's got a really great payoff, and the payoff is worth it. Stop looking at me! That type of thing. Oh my gosh, it's creepy. This show is great and creepy. Yuka Mikata meets Sachiko, who promptly separates the two. Also, we get to see Shinozaki placing the candle save points that you see in the game. And, they also find, they talk to Naho, and Naho's like, hey, here, if you do this thing and appease the ghost, this will work. And then she leaves a doll for them. Tells them about the multiple planes of existence. It's like string theory for sick people. Yeah. Anyways, after she's putting down the candle save points, the doll that she's got starts talking, which is really creepy. And yeah, the doll is needed to... It's a confession from the murderer. It's a confession from the murderer, and it's repenting for its sin. Also, they need to find the tongues of the murdered children. At some point, they run into one of the murdered children, and the murdered child's like, I'm gonna kill you! And she's all like, here. And the character gives the kid back his tongue, and he passes on, which is kind of a messed up version of Casper. You know? We're bound to this world with an unfinished business, and you have to move on. Yeah. So yeah, I liked this episode. It's pretty gruesome. lot of stuff happening in here. Pretty great acting. Too bad there's no dub, but I can understand it with all the horrible stuff that happens to people in this. Whew. Anyways, they give the tongue back to the kid. The kid vanishes. So they start collecting the tongues. Then the scene returns to Yuka. She runs back into Morishige, who's gone completely nuts due to the curse. He's all like, you know, Yuka, you'd look really great as a corpse in my phone. That type of thing. So she's running around. She runs into this guy named Yuya, who's from a different high school. Like I said, this building is full of dead people from different high schools who tried the charm. You try the charm that's written out is not correct. You get sucked into this space where you are murdered horribly. So yeah, Yuka runs into Yuya, and then Yuya is kind of like not really there is the best way to put it. Just kind of like, this is not going to end on a good note. You're like, oh goodness, out of the frying pan into the fire, essentially. Oof. Some brutal stuff might be about to go down. I mean, some brutal stuff goes down at the beginning of this episode, and it's insane. You should check out this series. It's been released by Sentai Filmworks under their Made in Japan label, and it's on DVD and Blu-ray here in the United States. It's subtitles only though, so you have to put up with that. But yeah, it's awesome, and you should check out the game that's coming out for the 3DS this, I think today is the 24th, so the 25th of October. Yes, just in time to scare up some fun, and we will be unboxing that one very soon. So yeah, look forward to that. Let me know in the comments below if you've seen this series or if you're a fan of this series and what you thought of it. Hit that thumbs up. Go ahead and like us if you haven't already. Subscribe if you haven't already. Share if you haven't already. Until the next episode comes out, you are now caught up.